Well, here we are out in the pine stand. This is David, of course. You look across, you can see the cottage and the house way back there behind the tree line. Anyway, over here on the far side of the pond, we've got an island, and geese like to raise their babies on that island every year. Well, a couple of years ago, this black oak tipped over, formed a bridge over there, and raccoons have been using that. You can see the raccoons have been leaving their sign behind on the log. They go over there, and the geese have not been doing so well. So I decided I had to pull this out, and got in here and cut it off and tried to lift this back and out with the tractor. And the tractor doesn't have enough weight on the back end to pick that up. When you go to pick that up, the back end of the tractor raises off the ground. And that's no good. So what I've done, I came out here today, I hooked a high lift jack back in here to a pine tree. And first I pulled it sideways to another tree and then hooked to that pine tree behind me. But when it gets to that bank, that's it. You can't, I don't have enough pull to bring it up that bank. So my next plan, what I can do, I can stand on that stump I left. I can stand on that stump and bore a hole through that tree, punch that out, thread a chain through it, have a chain all threaded up, and then I can cut this butt off. And I can lift that butt out with the tractor. See, I've got a hole bored through there with a chain in it. You can see the chain there. Anyway, so I've got a chain in that. I can cut off about 4 feet and have the next section bored and threaded with a chain. Then I can hook on that chain and pull it up here to the bank and repeat. And I can do that until the tractor can handle that and pull it out of here. So that is the plan. So I've got to come back in here with the chainsaw and long bar, stand on that stump and drill a hole through the tree, hook a chain on it, and then cut this section off, and then I can use the tractor to pull out a 4-foot chunk. So that's the plan. Got one chain there. Throw these chains back in the back of the RTV. And I've got a really good pull. I've pulled with that high lift jack as hard as I can pull it, and it's sucked into that bank, and it won't come up the bank. I've got an angle cut on it, but it sucks in tighter than it can slide. So anyway, we'll be busy. This will be a fun deal. We like this pine stand. It's shortleaf pine, and it's too thick. They're dying out, and what's happening in here is oaks are taking over, so it's becoming an oak pine stand. Well, if you don't maintain an oak pine stand, it goes all to oak. You see that tree in the center there is a white oak. I'm going to turn right here, and there's a pine to the right of it. There's another white oak. We're getting white oaks all through here, and that's nice. A white oak pine stand is a very Ozarky thing. And we're not Ozarks here, but shortleaf pine is an Ozark tree, and so is white oak. And so what we're going to do is start burning. The way you maintain an oak pine stand is you have to have a burn once in a while. The pines don't reproduce in here without a disturbance, and oaks will come up just great underneath a pine stand. One of the things we've learned through the years is if you want oak, all you got to do is plant pine, and eventually the oaks show up. But the oaks eventually push the pine out. So what we do, we'll use fire. And we're going to start burning this soon, but what we've got to do is go through here and just knock fuel away from these trees. That white oak there doesn't have enough fuel around it to hurt it, but you've got to go through here and make sure there's no heavy fuel against the tree you want to save. So you can see out there's a a tree down next to a pine tree. You see the snow on top of it. Come in here with a chainsaw, knock that apart and kick those heavy pieces away from your trees. And there's another one there with, I see one right there, it has a heavy piece of wood next to it. So you make 2 cuts, roll that heavy fuel away, and then you're pretty well fireproof to stand so you don't get major fire damage. So that's what we've got in mind for this area. And it's just snowing lightly today. Beautiful day to be out in the woods. But the high lift jack wouldn't quite pull that thing. I was able to suck it up tight to the bank, and that is as tight as far as it could go. So got to untension my high lift jack, try not to break a hand. Boy, when you unjack one of these with a lot of weight on it, that handle wants to start flipping. And you better either jump back when you turn it loose. You can pull it back, turn it loose, and it'll jack several times, or hang on to it and just go one click at a time. But if you're not paying attention, that thing will smack the hand and break bones. So be careful letting the weight down on a high lift jack. Okay, thank you very much for visiting. And when we get back over here with the saw and the tractor, we will make more video pulling that raccoon bridge out of here. See you all later.